that's nice. Here we go. Yep. Alright, need something else. Nah, I don't. No, that's okay. Let's see, what else can I look at? Okay, yeah, that's promising. Okay, there we go. What about, oh, no. Ooh. Okay, yeah. It's thick. Looking good. Alright, let's see here. What do we got? Oh, zombie. That's cool. That's fun. Yeah, what else? Ooh, yeah, Olaf. Thick boy. I like those accents. Very cool. Very cool. And then last, who's this? Oh, Erilyn, water sorceress. Very cool. I don't get what are those things? Why is she in a plastic bag? Gotta get her out of that bag. And then what are these? They're obviously not effects, because effects would have texture. These have literally no texture. Let's just remove those. There we go. Boom, gone. Oh, that's much better. Look at, oh, here we, yeah, okay, there it is. There she is. Much better. Now she looks like she doesn't have things. Oh, gotta bend that back in shape. There we go. Okay, cool. Very cool. Olaf, my thick, handsome boy. Here we go. That'll do. Alright, now we got a prime. Prime time to prime. Black primer, of course. You know what? It's Zenithal time. Alright. Let's just Zenithal these dudes up. Here we go. So I actually Zenithal these guys with ink, which was a terrible mistake. I just wanted to try it out. I didn't think that the ink was as transparent as it is, and I learned something from that. And as we can see, that is not ink. I ended up just Zenithal highlighting. Anyways, let's go. Now it's time for just a base coat. Yeah, we're just base coating her in a very, very, very dark blue as the first tone. Just getting it down all over the mini. And then we work up to our next darker shade of blue. Making sure to get all of the parts of her clothes that should be blue. She's wearing a huge, beautiful one piece. And then, yeah, we just work up. We work up from there. We're always working up. More of a, instead of just a standard blue, I worked up into more of a gray because I just wanted to try it. And I thought that gray would not kind of kill the vibe of the blue too much. And I think it worked. I wanted to do the trim a nice kind of deep green, as you can see here. So I did all of her trimmings, her accoutrement in this nice kind of earthy green texture. Not texture, but color. I don't know why I said texture. Don't ask me. As with the blues, we're just working up. We're working up, you know, just basically picking up the next mid-tone from the deepest shade of green to the lighter shades, and yeah, we just go all the way up, kind of trying to imagine where the light would hit based on where the Zenithal highlight is. For the inside part of her dress, I wanted to try and make a two-tone color where the top of those little baubles were kind of a lavender / fuchsia color, and the bottom was shaded with a darker kind of greenish blue. I think it looks nice, but it didn't really have the desired effect that I wanted. I wanted it to look like kind of as if she had blue shining from below. But I think the colors worked well. It's a nice contrast. Also, I wanted to try something different, where usually I will paint the leather arm bands on a mini brown. This time I was like, no, she's fancy. So she doesn't want to wear brown. She doesn't need browns on her. She wouldn't do that. She would wear fuchsia and green and blue. So that's what I did. Another non-standard color that I chose for this mini was the tassel. I wanted it to be red. Like I said, usually, I don't know, because I'm a super rigid thinker, I would probably just assume that this should be brown, because in real life, when I wear something around my waist, I always wear it brown. It's gonna be just a brown leather belt. But I didn't want that because that's boring. So I wanted it to pop, and I painted it yellow and red. To stick with the theme of non-traditional thinking, when I was approaching this mini, I decided that she would look really, really cool with green skin. To me, I know that the mini was called a water sorceress, but I wanted to paint her as a lich. Maybe an apprentice lich or a new kind of lich. So I went with green skin because I feel like, you know, she's a lich, she dabbles in darker arts, she's probably 4,000 years old. And in 4,000 years, I feel like I would be green if I was 4,000 years old as well. And here's the end result. For a non-traditional skin tone, I really dig this. I think it's my best skin tone yet. After that, I grabbed some blueberry yogurt and painted that onto her hair. And basically just got to stick with the non-traditional thinking for this mini. And so for hair, I was like, yeah, pink. Pink is cool. Blueberry yogurt pink. There you go. I then wanted to try something that I had never really done before, and that was to glaze. So I just grabbed my thinner medium and made a nice glaze out of that deeper purple, and then finished it off with a highlight of the initial blueberry yogurt pink color. Honestly, I feel like her hair looks like a K-pop idol. She looks like a K-pop idol, and I kind of dig it. I think it works. I wanted to look like she's doing an incantation, so I painted her eyes a blue color. That way I also didn't have to do pupils. And then gave her a manicure with some pink nail polish. And there we have it. That's our nameless lich apprentice done. I don't know what to name her. I'm not really good at coming up with names. Maybe some sort of a K-pop name. Black Pinkerella. Yeah, that works. All right, zombie time. For the zombie, I mean, because it's a zombie, I still got to stick with my non-traditional skin tone. Well, I assume it's not exactly non-traditional. He is Caucasian, but this is a flesh tone that I mixed some green into to give him gross zombie look. And green again, green twice. But I mean, whatever. He's a zombie. He's gonna look green because he's dead. He's rotting. He's stinky. I find painting in flesh tones, at least Caucasian flesh tones, to be kind of easy. Usually that's because they're not very opaque and they really show your previous paint layer through really easily. So it makes highlighting much simpler compared with other colors. This mini is pretty gory. He's definitely gotten messed up. I don't know if another zombie was eating him or what, or how maybe that's how he became a zombie, but as we can see, his bones are sticking out. And so I worked up from there. I used a kind of pink hue white paint because, as we can see, I wanted to make him bloody. Like, he's a pretty fresh zombie, so he's still all bloody. And yeah, I basically just traced in where the flesh met the bones with some dark gory red. And then used the same red and just gave him a glaze in the spots where he would naturally exsanguinate from, I guess is the best way to say it. Also, did you see that eye? He's gross. I love how gross this mini is. Just a zombie with a sword. I wouldn't want to meet him in a dingy alley. Or, well, he's a Highlander zombie, so in a dingy peat moss swamp thing, I wouldn't want to see him. You know what? As I'm watching this footage back, I realize he's a Highlander zombie. I should have maybe tried to paint him in sort of A plaid pattern? I mean, definitely there would be plaid, right? If he's a Highlander, kind of from the Highlands of Scotland, or at least thematically he is, then some sort of a letter check or a plaid pattern would have made so much sense, and that would have been great practice too. My freehand is embarrassing. It's as embarrassing as my kindergarten level penmanship. So it would have been some great practice. Oh, what a missed opportunity. Oh well, next time. Next time I find myself painting a half-naked Highlander, I'll try it out. I think that I am getting a bit better at highlighting, or at least figuring out places on the mini that should be lighter than other places. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun time. For his hair, I just went for, like I said, he is a pretty fresh zombie, so just your standard brown. And then painted his boots in a different brown, an earthy brown, and his shield in the same as the boots, because leather and wood are the same in my brain. Had to be really delicate painting the metallics on this mini because there's not many of them, and they are on the rim, as we can see. I got lazy and just glazed all of the spots to add depth to them and to kind of give it a weathered look, and then got onto my thick boy, my thick Olaf boy. All right, I don't know enough about RPGs or fantasy races, but clearly Olaf is Viking inspired from his name and what he's wearing and his axes. So when it came to painting Olaf, I just got really cold. I thought like, yo, this guy's cold. So his skin was just blue. It's just white with blue paint in it. And then because I'm not creative enough, I also painted his little... He's kind of in a kilt as well. Or maybe it's a tunic, but it's blue, so he's matching. He's just a dripped up queen. Wouldn't make sense to really have any other color for his pelt other than white, because totally Arctic themed zombie Viking guy. So yeah, just use this kind of beigey browny white color as the pelt, because I mean, I wasn't gonna make it black. That wouldn't make sense. But it was a wolf. A black wolf in the Arctic is not going to last very long. But I guess, I mean, that wolf got hunted down and turned into Olaf's pelt, so it didn't last very long either. But I mean, Olaf looks like a total badass, so who knows? It may have just been a fluke that that particular wolf died. Maybe he was the coolest wolf in his wolf clan. I'm not sure. But Olaf is he's just a force of nature. For Olaf, I just went with my standard boring brown leathers, because for the K-pop Lich, she already didn't get any brown, so whatever, it's time to go brown town. And yeah, that's what I did. Made sure that he has a bunch of brown. It also kind of complemented the wolf pelt, and frankly, it just made sense to do brown on him. Always making sure to get the edge highlights. With leathery kind of fashion accessories, it's all right to mess up and miss with your paintbrush, because then it kind of just looks like natural scuff marks on the leather. So don't even worry. If you find that your hands are not very steady, just miss. It's fine. People will, people's eyes will tell them, oh, it's fine, that makes sense. I've seen leather before. Leather is full of scuff marks. It makes sense. That's how it reads in my brain. I'm not sure if in my brain Olaf might be an albino or just really old, because the zombie has brown facial hair. So he's younger than Olaf, right? Olaf has gray facial hair. Olaf has just been around for a long time. He's just a cool guy. As we can see, basically, I love this mini. He has a lot of character. He's really cool. I got kind of lazy and boring with his axes and just painted them in a blue metallic. Makes sense though, because he's hanging out with a lich and a zombie, so he also needs some cool magical items as well, right? Use the same blue metallic color for his little metal baubles as well. I don't know what you would call those, so I'm just calling them metal baubles. And yeah, that's our boy Olaf. If you've made it all the way to this point of the video, I just want to give you a heartfelt thank you. I greatly appreciate you, and thank you for sticking around. Here are my 3 little duders on their scenic base, about to complete their incantation and maybe summon some sort of a demon, or place a curse on the nearby village, or just get up to some general no good. But yeah, if you made it this far, thank you so much, and I love you. I'm gonna play us out with some scenic shots of Cape Operella and Olaf and Mr. Highlander Zombie. And I hope that you all have a great week, and see you in the next one.